Hey guys, this is me, Dwivedi, and you are listening on Extended Reality Developers of India community. Last season, we did a lot of fantastic things. We invited a lot of professional people. We shared a lot of knowledge through this podcast. This particular session, we are also going to talk about a lot of things in virtual reality, augmented reality, design, media, entertainment, and every possible section which includes your career paths. So, whatever would help you in your careers, this podcast is going to talk about that, the future of technology. We are going to discuss that. So today's podcast is going to be about academic versus industry, because a lot of people are confused at whether to go with academics or choose something new, something revolutionary, do something which nobody has done. This is the discussion we're going to have, and we're going to have this discussion with one of my very good friend. Today is friendship day, so I invited him on the podcast. So let's invite Mr. Ajay Kumar on the podcast, and here he is. Hi Ajay, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting Mr. Avi.
Yeah.
It is really happy Friendship Day.
Happy Friendship Day, man. You helped me a lot. You are my friends for like a lot of months. So let's talk about you. You are strongly knowledgeable. I know you for a long time. You are the subject matter expert at iNurture, and iNurture is a very fantastic organization which is changing lives of a lot of students, giving them guidance, giving them education in fields of like multimedia, like 3D design, VFX, everything. So I'm really pleased to host you on the show, and we're going to talk about a lot of things today. So yeah, let's introduce yourself. We want to hear that from you as well, that what you do.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting. Okay, to talk about myself, I'm first of all I recognize as a designer. I want to career myself as a designer, 3D artist, because I started my initial career as a 2D and graphic designer. Then I moved on to my 3D web, and slowly I grade up into technology. And right now I'm being as an SME. In my career of the in each every milestone, I've learned enough things. And every time many people are my guides and many people are my mentors. Even my bosses are mentors, my students, even my daughter will be a mentor or some other areas. I each and every places I learn from many people by in the entire career. To talk about my education, I graduated from Oxford Books University, which is in Singapore, and I was working there and I was learning, exploring a lot of things. Moving forward, I've been into Dubai, where exploring about technology, working with a lot of reputed and established brands there. Then moving up to now in India, I'm working with a great concern in a business rolling up in a lot of universities, colleges, and a lot of big, being a big grab, filling all the bridges between the education and the industry. That is where this iNurture comes into the picture. So
Amazing.
here, that's the overall I can say you on this part of it.
Yeah. So would love to discuss how your industry. You said you studied from Singapore. So how this transition from studying somewhere to working, being a working professional and such a great professional. So how this transaction, the entire journey. How do you define it?
I define it two things first of all. Number one is I feel like I'm not enough. Whatever I learned, it is not enough, to be very frank. I keep on updating myself. That's what I suggest, even my students. I ask them to keep on updating themselves on day by day, because every year, every month, there is some new technology upcoming up. Any new gadgets, it may be new devices, something relevant to our multimedia, something relevant not. It may be something relevant to our app tech or hardware, or any new concept coming up in technology, or a new concept in gaming as well as or new genre coming up, or a lot of things it may be. So I used to update myself every now and then. That is number one, which thumb rule I used to tell everyone. Number two is like you don't forget your roots. Nowadays everyone talk about like coming up a new concept and everything, but if they don't forget, we saw a lot of new games coming up about our ancient games. So one good example is Raji, or one good example is Ludo King, which is Indian made, which is our roots. roots should not be forgotten. So I think that is what my next suggestion to my students, which I give them. And major important thing is, even though I study abroad, I work abroad, I want to bring the technology and knowledge what I have gained there to back to India, to my country. That was my ultimate goal on this.
Amazing. So, would love to know about your organization, which is iNurture. And we had interviewed iNurture previously as well. We were doing some charity, and we invited you, and the CEO. Everybody was just mesmerized by his talk. Everybody appreciated it. Everybody was in awe that how wonderful his explanation power is, and such a great organization, such a great edtech platform your team has created. So yeah, let me know something about your and let our audience know something about your iNurture platform.
Definitely, definitely. I nurture. It's not. I want to say it's called nurturing. The nurturing the skills, bringing out, making the people to not to keep their skills
Yep.
within them, to explore. That is the ultimate goal of it. But it's not to explore like just like that. We monitor, scale that, we preserve that, and in every stages, and we show them the right path. That is called nurturing. We nurture them, every student from the day one, from the degree program when they join until they place. After that, also we used to help the students to nurture their skills and fine tune their skills. We have a lot of students whoever have graduated from us still been connected with us in a point of an alumni point of view. The ultimate goal of iNurture is to give wonderful standards to the students on the education platform with the support of various counterpartners as universities and colleges. We have been tied up with them and we are been working with them as a knowledge partners. As I told earlier, we are working as a bridge between the academics and the industry. And we give and we make sure the students are being updated to the current trends on the technology aspects, it may be, or on the tools aspects, it may be, on anything. When you talk about IoT or AI or data science, machine learning, we try to bring in a lot of project oriented approach on the education. This is not like just a normal degree program. We help the students to achieve the projects in every stage of the semesters, and when they come out of the degree program, they make sure they have wonderful outputs in the hand as a portfolios. That is the ultimate goal of this.
So
We want to make sure we have a fine future. Yeah, sorry. Yes,
whenever
please.
some student is studying at anywhere, like no matter whatever the degree, the reason why people go for a conventional degree, which is like doctorate, engineering, anything, is that the jobs are there and recruitment company come to there. But in when we talk about this multimedia platform, so how iNurture is helping students with job, I know they are helping because I have hired a lot of people from iNurture as well, and they tell me that how supportive you guys are and how opportunity driven you guys are, because you provide them a lot of opportunity. You keep sending him in person as well a lot of these job details. So how what is the way to tackle this, how we are creating jobs, and what kind of jobs are there when somebody is studying from iNurture? So yeah, would love to know about that.
Definitely, why not? Well, first of all, to tell, we have a very good team base here. Here,
Yep.
every team for each and everything, they have the respective team to work on that. When we talk about corporate relationship, we have a wonderful team working on that. And our vertical supports, every vertical supports them, and their team will be working with lot of industry people to bring them into the form of virtual visit or a studio visit where the students can go into their studios to show what they know or what they wanted to understand. Example, or take an example as a game designer or a game developer or a game animator or 3D artist. They go into the studios, understand what they want, and based on that standards, we fine tune by the skills, and we hire the people from the industry so that they get the knowledge exactly what is being implemented in the industry, so that they implement and they make sure our students are industry ready. And once they go and join, they will know first as an internship, they will understand the company needs and regulations and the norms and everything, and they give the works according to it, and fine tune, they're getting into a full-time placement. The one, I think I have a lot of good examples with you also.
Yeah.
Even our students are working with you. I think that makes us a good understanding on
Yes, of course. And I see great talent coming from your institute. So, when we are talking about academics versus industry, which means how good a person is after just after getting a degree or getting some sort of technical education, how complete he is for industries to just do it. Because when we talk about most of the subjects, the industries has to teach them the train the interns mostly and invest a lot of time in their own ways. Companies like Wipro, companies like Accenture has their own facilities dedicated towards just training, where just the training happens. So
that. Agreed,
what is the
agreed.
state of the art for academic versus industry?
Definitely. When you that's where iNurture plays a major role in that. That's why we called ourselves as nurturing as per the industry standards. We are what we do here is we first of all to bridge that first gap between which your question between industry and the academics is we first hire the people from the industry only, those who are good experience. Example, talking about artist who works for Reliance Games or who works for Brain or whoever, something like key roles who work in that company for more than 15, 16 years in various other reputed companies. So like we hire the people from that standards and we make sure they are delivering what is industry requirements and we deliver what they want, what is industry required. Example, what style of an art style is very important in the market. We make sure we fine tune on various aspects. It's not only on 2D or 3D, it goes for everything, even for AR, VR, MR, everything. Those sir are working as a faculties are with us. They would have good experience in the industry. That make sure that is the first standard we maintain. Next thing following with that, we have a people who are working with us. They will be frequently get in touch with the industry people, so they bring in as a guest lectures with the various form of guest lectures, and that guest lectures will be delivering what is happening in the current live scenario. So that makes sure our students are more updated to the industry. Following it that our students have been doing, they have some students are like I can say sometimes we bring in live projects from our university support also. Sometimes students will go and work on the live projects. Sometimes we ask them to go and learn through some doing some small jobs like simple example like photography. They go down to the hotels to take their fashion photographies or food photography. Or if you talk about short films, they go and shoot for the promo cut for the entire photography on a drone camera. We will give an access for everything students, so they have work on the live projects. From there, they get in touch with the industry requirements and they upgrade themselves. Last but not the least is internship. That's where they very closely work. That 6 months, the last 6 months, they work very closely with industry people, understand the requirements, do the needs, actual as per the actual requirements, and they fine tune their entire portfolio. They would have learned many things, but when they go for an internship, they will specialize themselves. Either no, I'm going to be a game designer, I'm going to be an artist, I'm going to be a motion graphic artist, whatever. So they will define that and they take that drive to they go into a driver's seat. From there, they lead up. That's how that's the gap is filled up from academics within the industry.
And I think this is the best possible way when the student actually works on the real project. However, this is really hard in these days because the quality of the project, the timing of the project, everything matters. But I think we should give students the chance to work on real projects. And I think your
True.
company is working a really great job because the way to learn it is by doing it. Unless you do the
Exactly.
industry ready work, you are not industry ready. So
Yeah.
amazing job. I would like to ask about Indian product industry. So India makes a lot of products as well as Indian services. So what is your take on what is? I mean, India is usually considered as the service-based section. So we are very good with services. We have mostly companies, tech companies, which are into services like TCS, like Accenture. So all these companies are excelled in services. But what about the products? Why we don't have an Uber? Why don't we have for sake let's say, why don't we don't have a social media network like Facebook or something as big? So when we gonna create these sort of big products, of course we are creating some amazing products like Cred, we are creating like Ola, Flipkart. But when we will become this Indian product leading, when we will known in the world for these products?
Definitely, we are already working on that to be in the map already. To give you an example on the when our own products, when let me talk about on gaming oriented because basically I'm a gamer. So let
Yep.
me talk about on gaming oriented first. So initially we are being keep on doing a lot of outsourcing. India is known for a lot of doing outsourcing work. So right now we have taken a stand right now by releasing Ludo, then coming up with Raji, then coming up with wonderful games like Mumbai Gullies, which is giving a good competitor, saying that even small studios and mid-scale studios also can develop a AAA title. That gives up a challenge. So this is a place where we stand already. When we talk about social media applications, we are already there. If you have heard about application called Pupil, which is closely equal to a Facebook or a LinkedIn, because that is a wonderful application which right now they have been released, and it is done by Mac App Studio, which is from part of South India. They have released that application, and right now a lot of people are doing it. They are been into a beta release, and already they are coming up in the market. Slowly we are standing up in the market, and we will be coming up with lot of interesting social media applications where will be a good competitor for many other applications than the current which we are using in it. Example, to give you an example on a Uber or a Ola or whatever it may. So shortly we will be having our own stand. India will be having it with all our support of lot of experts in our country.
So since we are talking about India being a product hub, we are excelling in the product as well. So there is a quote from Steve Wozniak from Apple. He discussed this that Indian people are not that creative. So what is your take on this? Because you work with, I think, a lot of creative people and you create. So we are going to come up with some more episodes similar to this, and some really amazing speakers are lined up in this season. This season, we you are going to see a lot of technical marvelous wonders as well, because the budget also is raised up for these episodes. So I can do a lot of things. I can experiment with a
Looking
lot of
forward,
things now.
looking forward,
Yep.
looking forward for a wonderful. Even I would like to be a learner in your sessions. Definitely, I'll be what's going on through all the seasons. I'm been a follower of you. So let's looking forward for a wonderful sessions coming up. All the best to the XRDI team, and thank you so much, Avi. Thanks for the great job whatever you're doing.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Alvida. See you next week.